beautiful day in Victoria today. Got up to 27 or 28, so for the American people, that's over 80. So for April, oh actually it's May. It's May. For May, that's pretty impressive. So here I am, it's Monday evening, 6 o'clock, and I just want to sit out on my beautiful deck, and I want to have a glass of wine right after I did my workout. But wait a second, wine and fitness. Can you have alcohol when you're doing a weight loss program? How does it work? Well, let me talk about my experience and some other information that I think might be useful. There's Mittens. She also agrees, don't you, Minnie? Yeah, she does.
The good, the bad, the ugly. So the ugly. We all know all the things about alcohol that, are deemed bad. They cause hangovers. It can give you headaches. If you're like me, it makes you anxious. It wreaks havoc on your liver and your heart and your GI system in excess. It can be, it can age you considerably. But hey, we're talking about weight loss. So alcohol, weight loss, generally speaking, doesn't go together. It hinders your progress. It's going to slow down your results. It's extra calories, fat, etc. But how do you make it work? Because I was able to lose 20 pounds and I'm continuing and I've kept it off. And this is with a regular wine consumption. I'm a big wine drinker. So here it is. That's a 6-ounce glass. Yes, I weighed it perfectly on my scale. And you think, okay, that's a pretty good glass, but it disappears pretty quickly. That's Sauv Blanc. It's going to vary, but basically a glass of Sauv Blanc that size is about 140 calories. If you type it into MyFitnessPal, it'll tell you that it's 3.5 carbs. For the red wine drinkers, here is a Connoisseur Merlot. It runs at 146 calories and 4 grams of carbs for a 6-ounce glass. Some of us prefer champagne, the bubbly. This is only 90 calories for 4 ounces. That's actually pretty good. I'm lying. This is really wine, but you get the picture. It's got to be personal favorite for most people right here, eh? The Kokanee beer. Well, she's a little rough. She's more like 153 calories for one of these guys and 13 carbs. But a lot of people love beer, so it's worth it. What about girly drinks that have the hard bar in it, as Alex would say? Well, my personal hard bar drink that I like is a mojito. Really, that's the only one that I'll drink. Mojitos are kind of a tragedy with the rum, the sugar, the mint, the lime, and the club soda. They ring in at 242 calories. Yep, for a 1-ounce little shot, little rip in a tall glass. That's pretty steep if you ask me. Lots of girls like Bellinis. Oh, the Bellini, my personal favorite. One of those beautiful drinks that you get at Milestones. You get your little animal. Everybody's always so excited about that. Well, 389 calories and 24 carbs for one of those babies. Don't you love it? What if you want to do like just a shot? The whiskey drink or the vodka drink, you need a cider drink. Finish the rest of the song. Whiskey's like 96 calories. We'll just even it out, say 100 for a shot. Problem with alcohol, though, is that in the calorie counting and the carbohydrate considerations, they're not considering the ethanol. So when you look that stuff up on MyFitnessPal or whatever it is that you're doing, whatever program you're using, it's going to tell you that a drink has 4 carbs or 5 carbs or whatever it is, but that's actually wrong. When you look at your carbohydrates, there's 4 calories per gram of carbohydrates. So if you do the math on the alcohol, it doesn't really actually make sense. Alcohol is its own little world of stuff. I'm still learning about it. The easiest way to figure out how alcohol is affecting you from a carbohydrate macronutrient perspective is to simply take the caloric value of your drink and divide it by 4, and that's how many carbs you're consuming. And that, my friends, is going to tell you much more clearly how this alcohol is going to affect you from a weight loss perspective than just following calories. It's going to be much more accurate. That is the saddest part about alcohol. As soon as I learned about macronutrients and the carbs, I was like, ooh, that hurts. But that's okay, because here's the thing. You can still drink when you're trying to lose weight. What I want to talk about is tolerance. This is my own personal take on weight loss and alcohol and why that word tolerance is so important. And when I'm talking about tolerance, I'm not talking about Let's learn to be so tolerant of alcohol that we drink 6 bottles of wine a night. That's an addiction. Those are two totally different things. We all know that the number one thing that alcohol affects is judgment. It lowers your judgment. And when your judgment is affected, you're going to make poor decisions. People who have issues with weight gain, we don't always have the best time with our inhibitions. I want the cookie. I want this. I want that. Alcohol exacerbates that times 100. So we all know, those of us who have drank or have been drunk, I find personally that if I become drunk or intoxicated to a place where I'm not making good decisions, that is how I'm going to make the poorest choices. Things that I think all of you can identify with. Oh my God. Must eat ice cream. Must eat popcorn. More from Popcorn Bell. It's really good. I'd like 2 large pizzas, Mediterranean, with extra feta cheese and extra mozzarella cheese. And can you send dip too? And maybe I should just send him a text back. I can just say that I just want to say I'm sorry and we can be friends. Ugh, I shouldn't have drank that wine. I have a text. Oh my God, you sent him a message. You're such an idiot. So back to tolerance. So with tolerance, if you are drinking alcohol in moderation on a regular basis, you are going to build a tolerance. Your system is going to be able to handle alcohol better. With that comes your ability to recognize very easily when you've had enough. You will recognize in volume and you will also recognize in the way that you feel. Like, hey, I don't need to have any more. People that don't drink ever, they often have difficulty with that stopping point. Well, like, oh, well, I haven't drank in so long. So this leads to binge drinking. So why do people drink? Some people drink because they're so knowledgeable on all things wine and alcohol. If I smell the glass, I can tell that it's a cheap boxed wine. Jackson Triggs variety. Oh yes, lovely. I'm drinking because I'm angry. Everybody sucks. Ah!
Yep. Yep.
Guess what? I drink because my husband is mean. He's watching this entire video situation unfold, which, fine, I get it. It's probably hilarious to watch. But he's making fun of me all the time. So, guess what? Guess what I'm going to do?
You wanna go where everybody knows your name.
Unfortunately, some people use it to cope. And if that's the case, just be aware that that can become an addiction. It can become an overconsumption issue, way above what I'm talking about on the tolerance level. So tolerance could be considered a bad thing, but it really isn't. Alcohol has become this like crazy thing that people abuse and use and use the wrong way and don't have enough education on. I'm not saying that, like let your 2-year-old drink, but if you go historically, yes, I realize there were people that were drunks and had a lot of issues with alcohol, but seriously though, there were a lot of places, and even if you look at places like Europe where alcohol is not this big, oh my God, catastrophic thing. It's something that's introduced in a healthy way. Here's how you drink healthy amounts, tolerance, moderation. Not, oh my God, I'm 14 and I'm going to go steal all the liquor that my parents have. I have no education on how this alcohol is going to affect me. Soon going to learn. But that's what happens here, is that it's like this big deal to, get wasted when you're young. And in other countries and in other lifetimes, it was just a moderated, normal activity that people participated in. Like, I think about the TV show Downton Abbey, if any of you watch that, like, they drink every night. It's a normal occurrence. But getting intoxicated and making a fool of yourself, not something that they were participating in because they had tolerance and they knew how to moderate their alcohol use because they knew what to expect. Something to think about. So I drink wine on a regular basis. I keep it at bay. I know, I am aware when I have had enough, not only from an intoxications perspective, but from a weight loss perspective. What is going to be too much for me that it's going to stall my progress, where I am going to have my judgment lowered and I'm going to make poor decisions. I'm going to order pizza. I'm going to do things that I don't want to do. So 8 months, 20 pounds down. What's the thing I can tell you from an honest perspective as to choices of drinking wine? Well, let me introduce you to Wanda. Wanda, wine belly sticking out at me. Out so far and out so free. Wine tastes good and it's starting to show. And the little wine belly will grow. Wanda, wine belly. Wanda, wine belly. Won't you go away? Why you gotta stay and make me crazy? So, things to consider. What are you drinking? We talked about the types of booze. Lots of them have better calorie counts and carbohydrate counts than others. I'm not saying don't have a Bellini. I'm just saying be aware that if you have a Bellini or 3 of them, that it's going to potentially affect your waistline more. So as a general rule, weight loss, keep it at bay. Keep yourself at bay. Keep yourself responsible. And just remember, you do this, you can lose weight. You can lose inches. You can do this with alcohol in your life if you learn about moderation and tolerance for your own self. Keeping in mind that it will slow your results, it will affect things, and you have to choose what's important to you. So if the most important thing to you is rip, I gotta get all this weight off as quickly as possible, and I don't want anything, in my way, then yeah, maybe for you, eliminating it altogether is like a great choice. If you try to find a way to make your lifestyle fit in a manner that is going to make you happy. Because at the end of the day, you need to be doing this for you. You need to be doing this only for you. And you are the one that needs to be satisfied with you. And you need to love you. So however that looks for you is the best choice. And for me, I love me and I love my Sauv Blanc. So there you have it. I drink it.
I know, you just want to eat. But Mummy's making a video about booze and weight loss. Something that does not occur for you. No, not at all. Give me kisses. Love you.